mixed up. Martha, do you think, you've been in national leadership for decades now in this country, risen all the way to the very top. And now we are seeing a generation that's young, that was not even conceptualized when you went into politics the first time. That is now here, they're adults, they're thinking, they are looking, they are reading, they are consuming information, and they're speaking.
And making sense.
And making a lot of sense.
Yes.
Do you think the leaders at national level, your compatriots, are understanding the message that's coming from the young people?
I think quite a number are tone deaf. Because the young people are very, very, they have clarity of mind. Their asks are very clear, very precise. But those at the top think that they can meander and get away in a slippery manner. The demands are about accountability. They're about good governance. It's about implementing our constitution and the laws and running this country as a going concern, not as a personal fiefdom, and to benefit everyone, not a few. They want to live the dream of the contract Kenyans made for themselves, the constitution, the social contract.
But you'd argue that those who are now in senior leadership were young ones, and they were going and pushing for the same.
I actually saw a clip of William Ruto insisting that the authorities were not going to stop coming to the airport, them coming to the airport. Today, he wants to stop people. It is surprising that to a person of my age, I'm approaching 67, when you see people who tell you they were not born in 92 when I entered parliament, they're talking sense. They have a vision of what this country should be. And that makes me realize that the time to give way to this generation to steer the affairs of the nation is here. We should listen to them. It doesn't mean that there will not be people of my age there, but it's time that we largely gave way, to these people. And remember, even old days and even today, who are recruited to the army, to the police to guard the country? It is not me. It's not my age mates. I cannot actually qualify to go for the recruitment. So similarly, it's not only for the jobs that need courage and whatever, even the jobs that need thinking. These people are at the best age to visualize what Kenya will be and to put it into effect. And they are largely not corrupted by the political environment. There are some of their age mates who are in parliament now and who are totally corrupted by the political environment. But the youth of the change movement today are youth who are sharp, who are patriotic, who have a clarity of mind, and who know what they want. I've heard some of them speaking on television shows, on Twitter Spaces, on many other places. And all I can say is, wow, we better not let this moment pass. This is a unique moment. Kenya has an opportunity to transform, and the transformation worldwide is never led by the older generation. The older generation, there can be one in leadership, 2, 3, but the real engine of revolutions is the youth. We better give way.
And even as we say that, at the moment, there's still this clamor and there's still the dialogues, one of which you said you're not bored in, where the older generation still feels as though they can be part of a broad-based government and that it is their position to hold. How do the two come into play when on one side we have, we have a youth bulge in the country, and we see from the same mouths they're saying, it's about time that things changed. It's not a question. They have to change because this is the country that we are going to live in for the next odd number of years. But we still have this agitation for the people who've been in power for the last 30 years. wanting to form part of this government that came about as a result of this protest?
What I think is that it is not right for people of my generation to attempt to hijack the youth movement that is asking for transparency and accountability, that is saying things are so wrong, we need to go back to the reset button. We can only be spoilers, and it is in this respect. Last year, you remember, as Azimio, we went to the streets, and a good chunk of Kenyans supported the movement. We were asking for cost of living as a number one, but we were asking also a political question: open the servers. We were called to dialogue. Some of us reluctantly. Dialogue happened. We were arm twisted. We ended up getting nothing for the people. At the end of a whole 1 year, because the protests, the preparation for the protests began in January. At the end of the year, December, they told us, now we are ready. The only outcome was how to form a new IEBC. The laws have now been passed, but we never went to the streets because of IEBC. And the IEBC crisis was generated solely by Ruto, who sacked 4 commissioners because they said no to the tally that made him president, criminalizing dissent. So that was not our issue. The fact that we abandoned the people's issue, were arm twisted to accept something less, makes us totally unfit to lead any other dialogue.